Hey guys, this is really bad lighting, but I'm very quickly going to come in and tell you guys that I'm one, participating in Spookathon, and two, tell you what my TBR is. First off, I am participating in Spookathon, which is a readathon hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, Shannon from Bookerly, and Peter from Peter Likes Books. So I'm participating in that readathon, which goes from today, October 15th, to October 21st. Yes, those are the dates. There are 5 challenges that you have to complete, and I have picked out my books for all of them, so I figured I'd come and tell you all of them before I start vlogging my experience during this readathon. So the first challenge is that you have to read a thriller, so I will be reading The Lying Game by Ruth Ware, which I have on ebook on Scribd. The second book is Read a Book with Purple on the Cover, which I will be reading Toil and Trouble, which is the group read or whatever for the Spookathon, which I will also be reading on Scribd, but this time audiobook. So I'll be listening to that throughout the week while I'm driving, doing whatever. The third challenge was to read something at a time period different from like present day. So I'm going to be reading Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I have right here with me. The next challenge is to read a book with a spooky word in the title, which I'm going to be reading A Discovery of Witches, by Deborah Harkness. For the last challenge is to read a book with pictures, so I'm going to be reading the graphic novel, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I'm really quickly going to wrap this clip up because I went away this weekend with my family and we had our dogs stay at a kennel so somebody could take care of them, and I have to go pick them up from the kennel right now, and then I have to go meet my friends before class, and then I have to go to class. So I'm not sure how much reading will get done today, but I will be listening to my audiobook the entire time that I'm in the car. And I'll update you guys if anything else changes, so. So it's now 11:30 on Tuesday the 16th. I haven't spoken to you guys since yesterday morning when I said that I was doing the readathon because I feel like me talking is just too much sometimes. I speak a lot. I don't know how to contain myself. So I try to limit it to like once per day. So since we last spoke, I've listened to 7 out of the 15 stories of Toil and Trouble. I've listened to 7 of the stories on audiobook. I have 5 hours left on that, so pumped about that. I'm over halfway through and it's only 2 days in. I started reading The Lying Game by Ruth Ware while I was on break today, but I literally read like nothing. I read just like a couple of pages while I was on break because then my coworker came in and we started talking. So not that far into that, but I started it and it's interesting so far. So that's fun. So that's what I've read. Today you probably saw I went to a cemetery for my anthropology class. It was creepy and I thought I was gonna die because the road was very weird and isolated. But you know, we all have our moments. And right now I just got home from work, so that's what I did today. I woke up this morning, I went to class, I came home, ate lunch, picked up my little sister from school, dropped her off at my mom's work so that my mom could take her to dance tonight, and then I came home, got ready for work, and then I went to work, and I got home from work, had dinner, and now I'm downstairs and I'm gonna study for the exam that I have tomorrow. Love that so much. So I'm gonna stay for my exam. Probably not gonna read anymore tonight because I'm tired. Yesterday it didn't work, but yesterday I watched Elite on Netflix. I watched the first couple episodes of that and I gotta say it was pretty good, guys. It was pretty freaking good. That show's like really good. So if you haven't already watched it, go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original show, so it should be on every Netflix. So you should go watch it because it's really good. And yeah, so go watch that. But that's the things that happened in the past 2 days. So I'm gonna study right now because I don't want to fail my freaking exam tomorrow. So guys, so it's been a while. It's been like an actual while. Today's Friday. It's 12:35 p.m. right now. So I didn't have a lot of stuff that I was doing, so I didn't record it because I was just like busy and it was stuff that I didn't record, you know? But it, you know, it doesn't matter. This is all going up together anyway, so like, you know, who cares? I finished 2 books. So I finished Toil and Trouble, finished the audiobook for that, gave it 3 stars. I really liked the first story, which was like the Star Song one. I liked the 13th and the 14th story. I think it was the Water Witch one, and then the like 3 sisters who, whatever. It's those stories. I don't know all the names, all of them, because I listened to them on audiobook, so I couldn't like write them down or whatever, or look at them. But those are the stories I like. The 1st, the 13th, and the 14th stories in Toil and Trouble. And then the rest of the stories were just kind of like okay for me. So I gave it 3 stars because I just thought it was overall good. And I just finished The Lion Game by Ruth Ware, and I gave that 3.5 stars because the thing is, I enjoyed it. It's like one of the first thriller books that I can remember actually reading. So it's like one of the first thriller books that I can remember reading, and I liked it. But I mean, the entire time that I was reading, like the first half of it, I was like, okay, so I know exactly where this is going. And then halfway through it, I changed and I was like, okay, so this isn't how it happened. Halfway through the book, I knew what the ending was gonna be, and I was like, okay, so let's just get to the ending. And I was just reading to get to the ending to confirm what I already knew. So I gave it 3.5 stars because I liked it. But because like there weren't really any shocking plot twists. 2 books down for Spookathon. We have today, Saturday and Sunday left. I don't have anything to do today except pick up my little sister from school, and then I have work tonight. This is real, this is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Have you ever had the feeling you're drawn to someone? Yeah, been looking for a boyfriend. I've seen that. Give me time, you know I'm gonna be there. Okay, so quick update. It's Sunday the 21st. So it's the last day of Spookathon, and I'm stressed because I'm really bad at book readathons. I'm really bad at readathons. That's what I'm really bad at. I almost never follow through completely. This is my 2nd readathon I've ever done, so technically it's my 3rd. But the 2nd readathon I tried to do, I was just so behind that I just stopped doing it. So there's that. But so I'm not even halfway through all the books that I have to read, and it's the last day of the book of the readathon, right? So I'm 100 pages into Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So that's what I'm reading right now. And I have a graphic novel. I'm reading The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and I'm changing my TBR. So instead of reading A Discovery of Witches, because that's like 600 pages and there's no way I'm gonna finish that today, if I want to finish 2 other books too, I'm gonna be reading Beastly Bones by, give me a second because I didn't bother to remember the author's name. I'm gonna read Beastly Bones by William Ritter, which is the 2nd book in the Jacoby series. That's gonna count for the spooky word because beastly, so you know, so that's what I'm gonna read today. So yeah, I'm 100 pages into Frankenstein right now. I want to finish this. I'm going, oh my god, I'm so stressed. I have to read 3 books today while also going to 2 different movies because I plan to go to 2 different movies today, thinking that it would just be a leisurely day and I want to be, you know, completely behind in this readathon. But we're gonna manage because what we're gonna do is I'm going to the 2 p.m. showing of the Twilight 10th anniversary screening. So at 2 p.m. So that's what I'm gonna do then. I want to read, it's 12:39 right now. So I I still have to drive there because the closest theater that's showing it is like an hour away. So we have to drive there. I want to finish both Frankenstein and The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina before I come back from that movie, right? So I'm gonna bring both of them with me. And when I come home from that movie, I'm gonna start reading Beastly Bones. And then I'm going to the 7 p.m. showing of The Hate U Give, because last night I switched my plans around. Last night I went to Bad Times at the El Royale with my friend. And tonight I'm going to The Hate U Give with my sisters and my sister's boyfriend.
This is fantastic.
So, it's now midnight. So I'm 64% into Beastly Bones by William Ritter, which is my 5th and final read for this Spookathon 2018. But you know, here's the thing. If the readathon is 7 full days, that means 7 sets of 24 hours, which is, let me do a little quick maths here, 168 hours. So if it's a full 168 hours, that's what the readathon is, then technically I have until 8 a.m. on Monday, the 22nd, to read my books, because I didn't start reading it all until like 8 a.m. Monday the 15th. So I'm gonna finish this book tonight and I'm gonna count it for Spookathon, because I'm so close to finishing it and I'll have all 5 books read and done, and for Witchathon I will do better. Yeah, so now it's 12:03. I'm gonna finish this book real quick and then I'll check in with you guys when I'm done and do a little wrap up. Okay, I'm editing my video right now and my wrap up clip is 9 minutes long, so I'm just not even gonna fucking bother editing that. I'm gonna do a wrap up right now. Wrap up for Spookathon. I read 5 books. I completed them within 168 hours, which is 7 full days. Did I complete them within the parameters of my time zone? No, but we're not going to get into that. So, so I read 5 books. I first listened to Toil and Trouble by Tess Sharp and Jessica Spotswood on audiobook. I gave that one 3 stars. I liked there were 3 specific stories that I mentioned multiple times. I'll put the actual names of them in my Goodreads review for that book, and I'll have my Goodreads link down below. I do not care to look up the titles for it right now. So there were 3 specific stories in there that I would give like 5 stars that I really liked. And then the rest of them were just like good. They were okay. I didn't think they were like super amazing, but I didn't think they were bad. So overall, I just gave the whole book 3 stars. The next book I finished was The Lion Game by Ruth Ware. I gave that one 3.5 stars. I talked about it earlier in the video, but I enjoyed the book. I just didn't find it to be shocking, and there were not a lot of plot twists that I didn't see coming, or like there just weren't a lot of shocking things that happened, which I figured is probably something that should happen in like a thriller, you know. So that's why I didn't give it like a 4 or 5 star rating, but I did give it 3.5 stars because I enjoyed it. I thought it was well written. I liked the story. The next book I finished was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I gave that one 3 stars. I found it a little bit slow to read. I liked the format of it. It's a classic novel, so I enjoyed reading that. You know, it invented the sci-fi genre, and it was a good book. I just don't know if sci-fi is for me, so I appreciated it as the revolutionary piece of literature that it was, but I did not, you know, I didn't think it was like amazing. I probably will never reread it. Then after that, I reread The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is a graphic novel that I've read before, but the TV show adaptation of that comes out this Friday the 26th, so I wanted to reread the graphic novel before the Netflix show comes out. And so that's what I did. Gave it 5 stars, loved it. And then the last book I finished was Beastly Bones by William Ritter, which is the 2nd book in the Jacoby series. I gave it 3.5 stars. And the same thing with the first book. I have, okay, so within this series, I have an issue with the time period of it, because the books are set in like the 1800s or something like that. Like, they're not present day, they're a while back. I don't know what exact year or whatever, but I'm almost positive it's the 1800s, if not farther back than that. And I have an issue with that because I think the author, just wanted to have that setting just for fun, because the way that the characters talk and some of the things that they say and the way that they act is not believable at all for that time period. And there are also, like in the first book, they mentioned using a clipboard, and I was like, that seems like too modern. So I looked up when the first clipboard was invented, and it was like later than the book was set in. And it's like very easy things like that you could look up and find out, okay, it wasn't invented in the time period that this book is set in, so I'm not gonna include it. So there are just certain things like that just like take me out of it. Somebody in the 1800s wouldn't say that, you know, like somebody in the, like, this is not how society would be in the 1800s, you know what I'm saying? And so that just bothers me, and it takes me out a little bit, so then that bumps the star rating down. And then also, I think the books are kind of like childish in a way, maybe. And just the way that the characters act, maybe not childish, but kind of naive. I'm trying to think of like the word for it, and I'm not sure. I don't know how to explain it. There are just some things that, I mean, I enjoy reading them. I read them very quickly when I read them, and I enjoy the story. They're entertaining, so I like them, but there are just a couple things. Like, it's not a great piece. It's not like a great, amazing piece of literature. Like, it's a fun book to read with some historical inaccuracies and some stupid cheesy lines, but I enjoyed it, so I gave it 3.5 stars, and I read it extremely quickly. So there's that. Those are the 5 books that I read. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. If you like me, subscribe. See you later.